सर
ये
एक
सर, हाँ सर, हाँ सर,
सर एक नॉर्मल क्वेश्चन है, जनरल, इट्स अ पर्सनल
हाँ
क्वेश्चन.
पूछो
सब
सर।
जब भी when we are talking about any valuation, so
हाँ
what valuation we think is bizarre, means say very high growth even, like we are talking about Tesla or any other. Say we
हाँ
are talking about rent, any question, just what is bizarre valuation? What we always say, this is bizarre valuation. So what is the criteria?
Sir, now coming, if I give you an answer for a bizarre valuation coming out of say startups, see valuation is always forward looking, never backward looking. Correct. So one very simple sense to understand a value of a company is what could be the sales or the profits or the margins going ahead in the next 3, 4, 5 years. If I am being asked to pay 20 times, 30 times, 100 times of the expected profits 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line, so these are bizarre valuations. Because if I try to do any kind of valuation, there will be always be biases, that things will always go correct, they will always be in a streamline, no bad events will happen or no black swan events will happen. So no valuation model can capture black swan events. Suppose I am assuming कि my sales will grow at 20% and my profits will go at 30% and इतना मेरा ROC होगा and so on and so forth, इतना मेरा multiple होगा, so this is the estimate value. So all valuations are incorrect, they have an element of error. So I say कि अगर bizarre valuations is if I've been asked to pay extraordinary amount, so for say 5 years ahead or 10 years ahead, we cannot even predict one day कल हमारे को लाइफ में क्या मिलता है और क्या नहीं होता, I don't know. So the point is, nobody on earth could have predicted that COVID would give us such a crackdown in the markets. Nobody could have predicted. Nobody could have predicted that demonetization would take away liquidity from the system. So bizarre valuations is if you are asked to pay X price. Suppose you go to buy a property and the land value is say 1 crore, and you are asked to pay 10 crores for that land. So why will you buy that land in the same locality? The answer is no, because all other value properties are available at 1 crore rupees. So these are bizarre valuations which definitely don't make any sense. And why do these
Understand.
bizarre valuations? And why do these bizarre valuations happen? Because all the techno funda guys, all the retailers, all the momentum traders want the price to go up, 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 more up, and breakouts and breakouts. That is why these valuations become bizarre at a time. So we, the investor, it is our duty to book our profits and come out of these bizarre valuations if they don't make sense for going forward for the next 5, 10 years.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
हेमंत जी, आपका जो क्वेश्चन है एनएमडीसी स्टील का, एनएमडीसी स्टील बेसिकली इज अ डीमर्ज्ड यूनिट फ्रॉम एनएमडीसी, द बिगेस्ट माइनिंग कंपनी इन द कंट्री. And what NMDC had done was they had made a steel plant of costing around 24-25,000 crores, which they had no intent to run, and but they invested in that business, which is now demerged. Now, any steel plant you have will have a capacity of to make some HR coils. Now, there is no shortage of HR coils in the market as on today. Just one second. There is no shortage of HR coils in the market today, but the steel converters who use HR coils to make primary products, their production capacity has gone up multifold. So total HR coils in the market, which is around 20 or 22 million tons, is been available. Now 5 to 7 million tons is been used by Jindals and Tatas, who are the makers for their end product, which pipes and all, whatever they are making. Only 12-13 million tons is available in the market. The biggest buyer is APL Apollo. Now, a 3 million metric ton plant making HR coils and putting into the market will definitely ease out the situation of scarcity of HR coils for these plants. So when the numbers will come, when the steel plant will run, that is okay. This business after the demerger, the asset value was 24-25,000 crores, was available for 12-13,000 crores. So it was pathetically cheap. The problem here was there are no revenues. अभी इनका पहला plant start हुआ है. So when this demerger was done, the stock price, I think it went down to $25 or $30. It was beaten down badly. I think $25. तो वहां भी जब ओल्ड बैच 4 चल रहा था, एंड द स्टांस वाज दिस ओनली कि इफ यू आर हैविंग अ पेशेंस ऑफ 1 to 2 years बिफोर दे कमीशन द प्लांट एंड दे स्टार्ट द प्लांट, यू कैन गेट मल्टीपल्स री-रेटिंग. अभी तो सिर्फ डबल ही हुआ है. इट इज जस्ट गॉन अप बाय 100%. देयर इज मच मोर ओवर हियर.
हाँ सर, मैं वही वही बोल रहा था. अभी जस्ट वो आया है बिकॉज आई थिंक दैट इज बिकॉज जो आपने बोला है वैल्यूएशन चीप था, वो वैल्यूएशन अभी कंफर्ट पे आ गया है. अभी मार्केट कैप 20,000 करोड़ है और एसेट भी 20,000 करोड़ का ही है ऑलमोस्ट.
This valuation when the plant gets more ahead will be much more from here. What I am trying to say is, sir, अभी तो सिर्फ डबल हुआ है, सिर्फ डबल हुआ है.
एग्जैक्टली सर, मैं भी वही बोल रहा था कि अभी स्टोरी पूरी अनफोल्ड हुई नहीं है. एज एन इफ वी कैन होल्ड इट फॉर कपल ऑफ इयर्स, राइट, तो देन वी कैन, देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ
So,
मनी टू बी मेड.
sir, the learning here is special situations, demergers, mergers, all these kind of reject gives us just a starting point. This happened 1 year back, or maybe nine months back. So this is just the starting point. अभी तो खेल शुरू हो रहा है, and it is the stock price is already doubled.
यस सर,
So
यस.
business समझना जरूरी है यहाँ पर. See, NMDC Steel is an asset play, still an asset play. And now we have the classification in our minds, and few members are trying to structure their portfolio as an asset player. NMDC Steel is still an asset play. Once this production starts, it will not be an asset play. It will have two components of value. One is the value from the assets. The assets are not going to depreciate on first year. They're going to take say 5-7 years to depreciate. And next would be on the earnings. So my value will be having two components: asset component and the and the earnings component. Earnings component would get a multiple, say 5 times, 7 times, 10 times. Asset value will give a multiple of say 1 time. So 20,000 crore assets, if they depreciate to say 17,000 crores in 1 year, so 17,000 crore market cap should be there from the assets. And if it is able to say make 100 crores of profit per year, 10 times or 20 times multiple in this, so valuation come back to 20,000 crores. ज्यादा escalate नहीं करेगा क्योंकि capex heavy business है. But slowly it will escalate. And the biggest point is, you need iron ore to make this secondary steel. You need iron ore. और आपके पास iron ore का सबसे बड़ा जो source है वो NMDC है. So NMDC steel is 100% backward integrated. is
यस
100%
सर.
backward integrated. And यहाँ पर एक चीज और है जो आप अगर आप इस कंपनी में इंटरेस्टेड हो, and if you want to go and read back in history, government wants to monetize this. They are going to sell it. Government wants to monetize this. Now, if अगर आप इरिडा देख रहे हो, इतना तो आपको भी समझ में आ गया सर. गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया इज ऑल्सो इनटू द वैल्यूएशन गेम. अभी 30 रुपए का स्टॉक प्राइस आपका 200 रुपए कर दिया है. 5x हो चुका है इरिडा. Government has also understood the valuation game. Now you see, if NMDC, PSU company, a government of India undertaking, has invested 24,000 crores, taking 5,000 crores of debt, will they monetize it for 20,000 crores? Of course not. It is still pathetically damn cheap. They will increase the earnings bracket of the value, take the market cap higher, and they will monetize it. और मैं आपको ये भी बता देता हूँ कि इसको खरीदेगा कौन. Jindal will buy it. And Jindal will do a fundraise and they're going to buy NMDC steel plant. बना बनाया स्टील प्लांट उनके साथ वो मर्जर करेगा. Jindal will buy it. और अभी कोई सोशल मीडिया में कोई एक्सचेंज में आपको ये अनाउंसमेंट कहीं नहीं मिलेगा. This is my thinking. I can be wrong also. Jindal will buy it. This is going to happen over here. एक अपडेट और देता हूँ. मेरे को एक अपडेट अभी और मिला है. I don't know if it is correct or not. आप लोगों को एसडी फिल्म सब याद है किसी को? पुराने लोग जो हैं यहाँ पर.
यस सर.
और कोई है जिसको एसडी फिल्म सब याद है?
यस सर.
Yes, that we can.
आप लोगों को कुछ और याद है एसडी फिल्म सब के बारे में? जब हम इसके बारे में एक्सटेंसिव कॉल्स कर रहे थे मंकी पा के टाइम में, जब when the name was Monkey Pie and we were doing extensive calls, and when the first preferential round was done. See why I'm telling you all this, just to structure in your mind how dots connect. And if you see the first preferential in the warrant section, in the first preferential, you will see CSL Finance Limited. Does anybody older member over here remember we have been exclusively discussing about CSL Finance?
यस सर.
पंकज जी आपको याद है?
हाँ जी सर.
And CSL Finance, Rohit Gupta or Ronit Gupta जो भी उसका नाम था, and then we had seen that holding chart on Toffler कि कहाँ कहाँ इनके connections हैं. CSL Private Limited and CSL Finance and Ronit Gar KHUF were the same DIN number of the Karta. And then Sanjay Gupta went and bought in CSL Finance and he shifted this investment to his बच्चों का company. Then suddenly preferential round came in CSL Finance. ये सारी story I think आपको अगर याद है पिछले साल भर में, if you are connected with me and if you are listening to all this, again and again in my previous calls also I had given you some hints that I see a merger of CSL Finance and SD Finserv. ऐसी कोई news नहीं है आज की तारीख में. You go on BSE, you go on NSE, you go on any damn platform, you will not find any such news till date. A merger of CSL Finance and SD Finserv. Correct? आप अपना एनालिसिस करो, आप अपना वेबसाइट देखो, कुछ भी खोल के देखो, आपको कुछ नहीं मिलने वाला. And I am still on that point. Soon there might be some scenarios. CSL Finance is going to be merged in SD Finserv. मैं 1-1.5 साल से ये चीज बोल रहा हूँ, अभी तक तो कुछ हुआ नहीं है. क्या पता आगे चल के हो जाए. सिमिलरली मैं आपको एनएमडीसी स्टील के लिए बोल रहा हूँ, अभी तक कुछ हुआ नहीं है. गवर्नमेंट विल मोनेटाइज दिस, दे विल टेक द मनी, but not at 20,000 crores, not at 14,000 crores. So the NMDC steel having zero sales, having zero fundamentals at 13-14,000 crores, and maybe at 30 rupees or 40 rupees, whatever the price was pathetically cheap. We looking at a business, how do I value this company? I was trying to look at this business and I was getting the sense, how can this thing be so damn cheap? Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. अभी भी मैं बोलता हूँ, I'm still on my stance. I have no information. CSL Finance is going to be merged in SG Finserv. Clearly I tell you that. और पिछले 1.5 साल से बोल रहा हूँ, आज भी बोलता हूँ. Investing is all about your individual thought process, about being alone. And you don't need a 15, 20, 40 companies to be very successful and compound your portfolios to a good level. You need just a few companies. And I think मैंने कभी किसी को छुपाया नहीं मेरे पास मेरे पोर्टफोलियो में क्या कंपनी है. मैंने कभी किसी को कुछ ऐसे हाइड नहीं किया है. और पता नहीं शायद 40-50 कॉल्स तो हम लोग कर चुके हैं एसडी फिनसर्व एंड मल्टीपैक सिक्योरिटीज के ऊपर. Few in the old batch who are uploaded on the YouTube also. Right? So I can be wrong, I can be right, but this is my thought which is trying to share. So HR coils is in high demand. जितना बनेगा उतना माल बिक जाएगा, 1 मिनट के लिए भी नहीं रुकने वाला. It is in high demand. Now one more trend which I am observing in foreign country which is still not in India is the demand of scrap steel being mixed in the making of steel processing. जितने भी स्टील कन्वर्टर्स हैं इंडिया में नहीं हो रहा है अभी. ये इंडिया में हो रहा है कि आप किसी से भी बात करोगे बोलोगे पतरे का पाइप या पतरे का जो माल है वो एक्सेप्ट नहीं होता, उसकी क्वालिटी बहुत पुअर है. बट ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड blast oxygen furnaces are being discouraged because they are highly polluting. All the governments of the world are highly discouraging it. Indian government is still not discouraging it. हम लोग ट्विटर पे चिल्ला रहे हैं China +1 and we are getting market share and China +1, but 2 years from now or 3 years from now India will also start discouraging it. Blast oxygen furnace is a method to make primary steel. Right? You will need mixage of scrap to the tune of 20-30% in your production of steel. अभी पंकज जी रायपुर के रहने वाले हैं, रायपुर इज द स्टील कैपिटल ऑफ द कंट्री, तो उनको हो सकता है कि हमारे लोगों से पहले ये चीज अपनी सराउंडिंग्स में अपने मार्केट में पहले ये चीज देखने को मिले. So please keep your eyes and ears wide open, sir. आपको ये चीज आपके सराउंडिंग में पता चल जाएगी। इलेक्ट्रिक आर्क फर्नेस, बिजली से उसको मारते हैं और मोल्टेन को पिघलाते हैं, लिक्विड स्टील बनाते हैं, देन दे मेक द स्ट्रक्चर व्हाटएवर दे वांट टू मेक, इज बीन एनकरेज्ड। इलेक्ट्रिक आर्क फर्नेस, electric arc furnace is having a thing called graphite electrode. Now, what is graphite electrode? It is a cyclical commoditized product. Graphite electrode is made by HEG and Graphite India. See, all things connect. HEG also making anodes for lithium-ion batteries of
सर
10,000 ton.
सर एक क्वेश्चन था सर इसमें।
एक सेकंड प्लीज।
ओके सर।
हाँ सर।
So there is company called D Nora, sir.
पता है सर।
That would also get impacted because of this, right? Because they are kind of a leader in this refurbishing of cathodes and anodes for the same purpose.
Sir, that would definitely be impacted. See, anodes, they are making anodes of graphite. Graphite is very cyclical. It is not a structural component. It is highly cyclical. D Nora is also into this. There is a company, D Nears also, that is they're into tool parts. So they are similar names in different companies. All the things will start connecting when you read across the industry. So मेरा कहने का सिर्फ इतना सा मतलब है, be very individual in your thought process. You don't need any validation from anybody कि you are right or wrong. Time will tell if you are right or wrong. ठीक है सर। स्टील इज बजिंग एंड आने वाले 5-7 साल स्टील इंडस्ट्री के लिए इट इज सुपर. आई कैन बी रॉन्ग ऑल्सो, बट दिस इज व्हाट आई गेट अ सेंस ऑफ. एनी क्वेश्चन एनीवन? हेमंत जी, एनी क्वेश्चंस?
सर एसएमई कंपनीज को पढ़ने के लिए डीआरएचपी के अलावा और कुछ इंफॉर्मेशन अवेलेबल हो सकती है कहीं से?
नहीं है सर. देन ओनली स्कटल, बट देन यू कैन ओनली गो एंड मीट दोस कंपनीज. इसके अलावा कोई और तरीका नहीं है.
बिकॉज जो हम अभी जस्ट बात कर रहे थे ना सर, इलेक्ट्रिक फर्नेस एंड ऑल, उसी के अराउंड में एक कंपनी एक देखी थी मैंने, बट आई एम नॉट गेटिंग मोर इंफॉर्मेशन. दैट्स द प्रॉब्लम.
See, SMEs, you will not find more information until unless you go and meet the promoters.
Okay sir.
Anything more, anyone? चलो, okay then. Thank you.
So one more thing sir.
हाँ, क्या बोल रहे थे?
सर आपने जो जीएसपीएल का डाला था उसमें एग्जैक्टली आपका क्या पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू था सर? व्हाई द मार्जिन्स आर गेटिंग रिड्यूस्ड?
किसका डाला था सर?
जीएसपीएल. यस.
मैंने आपको फोटोज क्लियर भेजे हैं. द वॉल्यूम्स आर डाउन, द मार्जिन्स आर डाउन, दे आर टेकन अ प्लांट शट डाउन. सो मैंने वो जान करके वो एनसर्कल करके स्नैपशॉट डाला है कि द टाइम टू लुक एट द बिजनेस वाज नॉट व्हेन द मार्जिन्स वर 33% एबिटा मार्जिन्स एंड द सेल्स वर ग्रोइंग. Probably the time to look at the cyclical, because it's a cyclical business, is when the margins are down and nobody wants to look at it.
Right sir. Right. Okay.
And जितना renewable energy बनेगा, जितना solar panels बनेंगे, जितना glass बनेगा, उतना soda ash चाहिए. He is one of the largest suppliers of soda ash, and they are increasing the capacity by 5 million metric ton. Sorry, 0.5 million metric ton. 5 लाख टन बढ़ा रहा है अपनी कैपेसिटी. 10 लाख टन का उसका प्लांट है. इज गोइंग अप बाय 50-60%. He's got salt deposits in Gujarat, so he's backward integrated. The only problem in this business is the promoter holding is very low, and the promoter's old track record is not very good. But जितना solar panel बनेगा, उतना soda ash चाहिए, and the prices of soda ash, if it is going down, it is good for the solar industry because it's direct correlation. Soda ash is the raw material for the solar glass. The soda ash business is going down, prices have gone down, and बाहर से import आ रहा है, dumping आ रही है, volumes contraction हो रहे हैं. Borosil renewable चलना शुरू हो जाएगा, and that is only happening in Borosil renewable, and Borosil renewable is going for a fundraise also to expand capacities. So everything connects. If you read across the industry, if you well understood the industry, you can make a sense where the ball is taking on the court. Go and look at the stock price of Boris in the last few weeks. You will definitely see a jump up. And today only there is an announcement that they want to raise funds because soda ash prices are down. So if soda ash prices are down, उनका margin बढ़ेगा because उनका raw material prices are down. ठीक है?
Got it, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Bye bye.